Hey friends, welcome back to another week of the Heal You podcast. You know, the one where we hold space for the truth of your journey, the pain, the process, and the power of healing. It's your girl Shai here, and I can't wait to get started. But before we dive into this week's message, let's take a moment to reflect on where we just came from. Week 17, Trusting Your Timing. That episode, friends, was an invitation to surrender our timeline, to stop measuring our growth or healing by what we thought should have happened by now. But instead, it was about learning to trust that delays are not denials, and that when we release control, peace and purpose have room to rise. If you missed it, I truly encourage you to pause and go back. It sets the foundation for everything we're about to explore today. Are you ready? Get your pens and pads ready. Get those journals out and make sure you grab you something to drink so you can totally be in the moment of listening to this week's episode. This week, friends, we're leaning into something that doesn't always get celebrated, but always matters. The messy, in progress, in between part of our healing journey. Friends, I welcome you to week 18, showing up in the middle. Now, let me tell you, this episode, I'm going to tell you this one is really personal, because what nobody told me when I started this version of my healing journey was that the middle would test me more than the breaking point ever did. You hear me, friends? The middle, where I am today, is testing me more than my breaking point ever did. No one ever told me that the hardest part wasn't falling or even getting back up. It was what I have to face in the space in between. You know, the middle is not about anyone's statements or anyone's actions. The middle is personal, deeply, undeniably personal. The middle is where we meet ourselves, unfiltered. It's the unknown, where your identity feels blurry, where the path forward isn't clear, and where you're no longer anchored by who you used to be. The middle is disorienting. It's unsettling. And yet, friends, it's necessary. No longer who we were, not yet who we're becoming. You know, the middle is the hallway after the door closes and before the next one opens. The dark, sometimes musty middle, where you can't see what's ahead and barely remember what you left behind. It smells like uncertainty. It sounds like doubt. And the middle feels like grit under your feet. This is the part of the story where we're rewriting our thoughts, rerouting our habits, and resisting the urge to go back to what was just because it's familiar. This is the part that doesn't always get shared online. It's not the before pic that stirs applause or the after post that gets all the fire emojis. This is the middle, friends, where the growth is silent, where healing feels slow, where faith feels like a whisper, and where you have to decide, do I show up anyway? Because the truth is, the middle is where I am, friends. Right here, right now. And if you're here too, I want you to know you are not alone. Let's keep showing up, let's keep breathing, and let's walk through the middle together. Let's take a moment to talk about what the middle actually means. Not just as a concept, but as a lived daily experience. You know, we're in that in-between season, the scared tension, the ground where nothing feels finished, yet everything is quietly unfolding. Let's talk about showing up. And showing up doesn't mean pretending to be okay. It doesn't mean forcing a smile or pushing through like you're unaffected. It means being truly honest about where you are and still choosing to be present. It means opening the journal, even when you don't have the words, and just allowing your mental to flow, the thoughts in your mind to then be interpreted on paper. The journaling, it doesn't have to be a book that's written. The purpose of journaling is allowing us the ability to release the thoughts from our mind and put them down on paper. Because, friends, there's something about the act of doing so that allows you to release the tension that you're feeling so you can continue on your healing journey. The middle. Taking the walk even when you feel weighed down. Ooh. You know, I've incorporated into my healing journey, and thanks to having a puppy, the need to walk multiple times a day. That even if I'm only getting 5 to 10 minutes in, sometimes 15, there's a need to just walk. I've noticed on some days as I'm walking that I feel weighed down in my hips. I have two choices. I could stop and not walk, or continue on and continue to embrace all of what nature has to offer me. The wind blowing, birds chirping, other dogs barking, people saying hello, the smell of the air, the whisper of stillness. I don't let the heaviness in my hips stop me from doing what I want to do, but instead, I gracefully continue to walk forward so that I can continue to heal right here in the middle where I am. Praying even when you feel distant, when you don't have the words that you want to speak so eloquently, and sometimes it's just as simple as, God, please hold me up. Please help me to understand the direction and where I'm headed today. Please instill in me gentleness, caring, grace, and mercy, and being able to say thank you in that praying moment. The middle. Moving through the tears and trusting they're watering something sacred. Not being afraid to release how you're feeling today through your tears, allowing them to flow as needed so that you can continue to heal the part of you that is hurting immensely. The middle. See, friends, the middle is where intentionality has to become your anchor. It isn't your motivation. It isn't perfection. It's being intentional. You have to ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? How do I own it where I am today? What does showing up look like for me in this season? Not what looks good on social media. Not what sounds impressive to people who ask you, how are you doing? But truly being in the middle and being real and what is true for me right now. Let me ask you, friends, have you ever found yourself there in the middle? In that messy, uncertain middle where nothing makes sense and everything feels like a question mark. Have you ever felt stuck in the space between who you were and who you're trying to become? If so, I see you and I want you to know I understand the feeling. I get it. That ache of not knowing what's next. That whisper of doubt that creeps in when the path forward is foggy. You're not alone. This space of being in the middle is hard, but it's also holy, and it deserves your presence. It truly, truly does. Let me reflect for a moment. Like I said, right now I'm in a space where everything feels like it's truly slowed down. My body is tired. My emotions on days sit right at the surface. And the clarity that I've been praying for, it still hasn't arrived. Sometimes I want to rush it. I want all of this middle uneasiness, unknown stage to just be done. And for me, I feel as though I'm doing all the right things. I'm showing up. I'm speaking life. I'm seeking peace. And yet, there are moments in the middle where I feel stuck. And if I could be totally honest, it's frustrating. It's also humbling. And it's heavy, just like what I feel in my hips. I recently wrote in my journey, maybe the pause isn't the punishment. Maybe the pause is the preparation. And that, friends, is what I'm choosing to believe today and every day. That I am being prepared for something that is greater, that is beyond what I could even imagine or write down on paper. And that's allowing me to be here, not to rush anything, not to perform, but to breathe, to take it all in, to listen, and to just be. To ask softer, deeper questions. What is this moment trying to show me? Where am I still striving instead of surrendering? And how can I remind myself that I am still worthy of peace? Not someday, but now, even here in the tension of being in the middle. All right, friends, I want us to stop for a moment and do a breathing exercise. Come ground with me for a moment. It's going to be something different, something simple, something still. All right. Wherever you are, look around. Just take a moment to look around. Take in everything. Name 5 things you see. Stay with me. Now close your eyes, friends. Out loud, where you are, name 4 things you can feel. Your feet on the floor. Your back against the chair. Your hands resting. Listen. Take a moment to listen. Now out loud, name 3 things you hear. Is it a fan blowing in the background? Is it the tiny taps of little feet? Is it your own breathing in and out? Now name 2 things you can smell. Is it coffee in the air? Is it the aroma of a burning candle? And finally, friends, name 1 thing, 1 word that describes what you need most right now. Is it a hug? Is it a kiss? Is it rest? Hold that word. Speak it if you can. Whisper it if you need to. Claim it. You don't have to fix it all today, friends. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you can be here in this moment, grounded in your breath, aware of your need, and still choosing to stay. Right here in the middle, you are enough. Hold on. Hold on to that, friends. It's important. A moment of grounding, a moment of stillness, a moment of understanding, and giving yourself the ability to remind yourself that you are enough. Before we close today, I want to leave you with 3 gentle reminders. Truths that have anchored me and may just be what you need to hear right now. This season has value, even if it's quiet. Not every season that we're in will be loud or visible. Some are deeply rooted in reflection and realignment, and that's where intentionality begins. In the quiet, in the stillness, it's in these seasons that we have to choose to be present, even when progress isn't obvious. Because intentionality is what gives meaning to our waiting. It says, I may not be where I want to be, but I can still live fully here. Progress in the middle is often internal. Just because it isn't seen doesn't mean it's not happening. Healing doesn't need an audience, but it does need your attention, your awareness, your intention. Choosing to speak life, to reach out, to keep going. That, my friend, is what keeps the momentum alive when no one else can see the work you're doing. Your time, friends, is not a race. Your timeline is not a race. Surrendering the timeline doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that becoming takes time. Intentionality shifts our focus from arrival to alignment. From when will it happen to how am I showing up while I wait? Because how you move in the middle is just as important as where you're going. It is, friends. Shoulders up, head high, smile on your face, and being truly intentional for yourself. That's what matters. That's what matters. So this week, friends, I want you to show up. Show up. Not the filtered version again. Not the, this one got me. Not the I'm fine version. I know what that means. But the real you. The tired you. The honest you. The hopeful you. The in process you. Because there's power, friends, in being present for yourself, not for anyone else, but for yourself. The healing isn't just at the destination. No, it takes work. The wisdom isn't only at the end. No, we're constantly learning. Right now, in this space, in this very middle space of where you are, that is teaching you, preparing you, strengthening you for what's next. Maybe, friends, you're in the part of your story where your prayers feel unanswered, your energy feels drained, and your purpose feels unclear. Maybe you've been holding on by a thread, wondering if it even matters to keep trying. But I'm here to tell you, friends, it does. You do. This is a season where your roots grow. We've been planting. We've been watering for months. We've been working on this process, right? We're in a season where our roots grow deep down and unseen. This is where endurance is built and self-trust is formed. This is where intentionality saves you from spiraling out of control, and where small sacred choices add up to real transformation. Yes, season. In the middle season. The rooted season, the preparation season, the sitting still season, to allowing peace to leak in and take over all of the anxiety that we're going through. The inability to trust, to allow us to be honest with ourselves, unfiltered, totally in the moment of the middle is where we at. Preparing for the transformation. So friends, I challenge you to show up. Show up. Take the walk, friends. Drink the water. Speak the truth, your truth. Hold the boundary. Write the journal entry. Rest when you need to. Pause, friends, when you must. But don't, and I say it over and over again, don't quit on yourself in the middle. Don't do it. Because one day, friends, you'll look back on this exact space and realize this is where you became who you needed to be. In the middle. In the middle, friends. This is where the roots happen. And I can't say it enough. It's worth the journey. It's worth the journey to just sit and be in the middle. It's worth it. Don't give up on yourself. I'm not giving up on me, and I challenge you to do the same. As always, friends, I want to take a moment and thank you. Thank you for sharing space with me today. If this episode touched you, if it made you think of someone who needs to hear it, who needs to understand that being in the middle is okay, please share it. Please share it so they can listen. Especially because it's important for us to be here and be available for everyone who's on a healing journey. By sharing it and allowing others to listen. And being able to hear that someone who is on their own healing journey and going through their own middle space, someone like me, is surviving the space between. And it's sometimes the reminder we need to keep going. Remember, as we always say, you are not behind. You, my friends, are not broken. You're becoming, and that matters more than you know. I challenge you this week as you navigate the middle with all its mess and beauty. I hope you choose to stay present, to give yourself permission to be unfinished, to recognize that even slow growth, guess what? It's still growth. And as always, be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace and know that even here, especially here, you, my friends, are still blooming. See you next week. Whew.